Let's talk the color. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk the color. Woo!
Good evening, everybody. Hey, it's Cutler here in the Let's Talk the Cutler Virtual Book Club, the Let's Talk the Cutler YouTube platform, the Let's Talk the Cutler platform, where we spend about 1,800 seconds together every Tuesday, and it is Tuesday, June the 17th. Tuesday, June the 17th, and I'll tell you why that holds a little significance to me in just a moment. But listen, in case this is your first time stopping by, do me a favor, go on and invite somebody else. And let me tell you what this platform is about. If this is your first time, just know this. Just know that this platform is about inspiration. It is about motivation. It is about making sure that we challenge ourselves to show up the best version of ourselves. We show up our best possible selves, even in the worst of situations. And the worst of situations appear so many times, and so many opportunities for us to show up our worst selves. But we have these conversations so we can challenge each other to show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations. So if this is your first time, know that you're going to get a little inspiration, you're going to get a motivation, and you're going to get a little challenge. You're going to get a little push, because I believe that iron sharpens iron. I believe that we help each other in those moments of tempted failure, or tempted weakness, that we can really help each other. We can pull each other up by our arms. We can push each other out, and we can pull each other through. So thank you all for spending these moments with me. I'm so delighted that you all are here, and I'll give you some news in just a moment. But again, if this is your first time, do me a favor. If you haven't done this yet, do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe. But after you subscribe, click on the notification wherever it is on your device that lets you know whenever I've gone live and whenever I've uploaded new content. So I'm not sure where it may be on your particular device. It may be down there, up there, over there, or over there. Wherever it is, do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe, and then click on the notification device. Click on the notification bell, because it lets you know whenever I've gone live. I am extremely grateful. I'm in a place of such gratitude, you all. Let me shout out the LTTC VIPs for just a moment. Well, I'll talk, and you all come on in, and then once you come on in, I see people who are on, but they're not in the chat yet, so I give them a chance to get over into the chat. But I am just, I'm extremely grateful for having lived another 365 days. I'm just absolutely delighted and thankful that yesterday I celebrated and I don't mind saying this, yesterday I celebrated my 60th birthday. And what is amazing to me, you all, and I'll get into our conversational topic for this evening. What is amazing to me is that at this age, my maternal grandmother died when she was just 56, and I vividly remembered that. One of my great uncles on my paternal, my dad's father died at the age of 56. I remember her vividly. My mother's brother died at the age of 59. And when you realize that you've lived longer than some family members, when you realize that you are at the age where you vividly remember your parents and your grandparents, you can't help but, I say you can't help, but let me just talk about me. I can't help but feel gratitude and thankfulness. I'm grateful to still be alive. I'm grateful to be in pretty decent health. I'm I'm grateful to have the use and activity of my limbs. I'm grateful that I still have some reasonableness and the ability to think rationally. I'm grateful that I'm still a part of this wonderful thing that's called creation. I'm thankful that I still have an amazing circle of family and friends. I'm thankful that I have a nuclear village to push me and to pull me and to lift me and to encourage me. I'm thankful that that things are as well as they are. I'm thankful that all of my needs are met, and I'm thankful that. I have a stable income. I'm thankful that I have food, and I'm grateful that that my lot is my lot, as in my situation, my circumstance. I'm grateful that I am able to really say all is well. And at some point, you reach an age, and you say to yourself, "Have I done right by the time, or with the time that I have been given? Have I done right with all of my days and hours and minutes?" And the truth of the matter is, I haven't done right by all of them, but it is my goal, it is my desire to make sure that as time marches on, the moments when I've mishandled, that I would get a chance to now seize the opportunity to handle them right, and to handle people right, and to handle situations right, and to respond to life right. So I am just so completely grateful for every portion of my village, whether my village are people that I see every day, or whether my village is people that I encounter once a week, or whether my village is people that I just see sporadically. I'm thankful that I have a village, and I'm sharing that, you all, because I think that at some point we step back and we practice gratefulness and we practice thankfulness, because it speaks to the accountability that we have being here on earth. I'm grateful, so I'm going to do right by the time that I have. I'm grateful, so I'm going to do right by the people who are in my life. So I'm grateful, so I'm going to do right by the moments that I have. And that's why I talk so much about making sure that we show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations. Life does what life is going to do, but it's all about how we respond. And so I'm just very grateful that I've lived now for 60 years, and that in the course of those 60 years, they were just not wayward years. They were not years where I just haphazardly did not pay attention to life. But I'm thankful that I've had the opportunity to gain wisdom through the years. I'm thankful that I have a platform to share my experiences and to hear the experiences of other people. So I am just absolutely grateful. So yes, yesterday was my 60th birthday, and I can say this. I'm grateful that there were people who traveled near and far to be with me, and that's as much as I'll say about that on this platform. But I'm thankful that there were people who traveled near and far to spend time with me, and I'm grateful that you all tune in these every week and share this time and space. So yeah, I am now officially 60 years old. I've lived 6 decades. It is amazing to me that I've done that. And so thank you all for text messages and cards and emails and all of that. Thank you for the shout outs that I even see this evening. I appreciate it. I don't take any of it for granted. I've learned by watching and listening to my mother, be careful how you handle people. Make sure that you just don't let people come in and out of your lives without paying attention to who they are. So again, I'm so very, very thankful. And thank you also for all of these, for these birthday shout outs. Now let me do a shout out to you all. Mind you, as I'm doing these shout outs, go and tell somebody, come on, let's talk to Cutler. Because I want to talk this evening about how to be more kind. Now, that may not necessarily pertain to you, because perhaps you are on a scale of 1 to 10 as kind as you can possibly be. Now, let me just pause for a moment and say, on a scale of 1 to 10, why don't you rate your kindness? How kind are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Yeah, this is going to be interactive. It really is. On a scale of 1 to 10, how kind are you? With 1 being not very kind at all, 10 being oh so super kind. I mean, it is the epitome of kindness. So 1 is not good. one is zero. It's just you're not kind at all. But 10 means you're just really up there. You're super kind. You don't know anybody, or you're as kind as you could possibly be. You're the kindest person that you know. So why don't you, if you don't mind, why don't you rank your kindness? Meanwhile, while you're doing that, let me just do a shout out to the LTTC VIP. So let's talk to Cutler VIPs for the evening. Those are the people who I see coming to the chat room first, and the three people that I see are Linda Martin. Let's see. Let's just put up here. Linda says, "Good evening." For those who didn't get the chance, yesterday was Greg's birthday. So yeah, I turned 60. So thank you so much for that. And then Annie Cutler said, "Let's ride." And then Yvonne Jones says, "Greetings all." So those are the LTTC VIPs for the evening. So go on and rate your kindness. Why don't you? I see an 8.5, a 9, and a 9. All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how kind are you? Listen, this is we listen and we don't judge. That is the new saying. So just put it in there. And it's okay. Whatever your level of kindness is, go ahead and put it out there, because, we can only help ourselves when we are honest with ourselves. We can only help ourselves when we come face to face with who we are. So let's do that again. We can only help ourselves when we are honest with ourselves. And we can only help ourselves when we come face to face with who we are. We can only improve ourselves when we come face to face with who we are. So let's just go ahead and come face to face with who we are this evening. All right. So now, let's talk about and I'll get to what I see in terms of these levels of kindness. As I was thinking, one of the things that occurred to me over the weekend of celebrating was that what's important to me is being kind. I don't know. People will use a lot of words to describe us and to describe you and to describe me. But one of the words that I always want people to use to describe me is kind. They can use compassionate, they can use caring, they can use all of those things, and they can use, the $100 words, or they can use the 1 cent word. But one of the things that I want people to that is important to me to be described as is kind. And it is important to me to be kind, because for me, it fosters an opportunity, it fosters a platform, it fosters a space and a place where relationships can be built. Being kind promotes your mental well-being. It promotes your physical well-being. It creates this space where kindness and compassion can be nurtured and can be fostered, and it creates a safe space for people. Kindness can also it's good for your self-esteem. Because what does it do? It reduces stress. Just be kind. It increases your level of happiness. Just be kind. It inspires other people to be kind as well. So if you want to see people act kind, then you act kind, because kindness begets kindness. It becomes the reciprocal behavior that is invoked in people. In other words, they respond by what they see. They respond giving what they've gotten. They respond doing what has been done unto them. So then it will inspire other people to be kind, and it creates this ripple effect. It really does. And that is why, for me, it is important to be kind. I want my relationships to be improved, and I see these numbers. Let's see. There's an 8.5. There's a 9. There's a 5. There's a 9. There's a 9. Let's see. And one of the things that I want to talk about. One of the things that I really want to talk about is what does kindness look like? Because a lot of times when we measure kindness, or as you are looking at yourself and you're saying how kind you are, I wonder when you measure your kindness, are you measuring your kindness toward others, or are you really measuring your kindness to yourself? Because I find it so amazing that we can be so kind to other people, but we're not always kind to ourselves. And sometimes I find it interesting that we give kindness and or we don't give kindness, but we expect kindness. I want us to really think about what it means and how does it look, and think about the importance of it. And so I think there's always room for growth. I think that there's always room for improvement. And again, kindness, it is important. It offers you the opportunity to improve your relationships. I've said that. And for me, kindness brings peace. I am at peace when I'm kind. I am not stressed out when I'm kind. My emotions and my mood does not go up and down when I'm kind. My level of happiness is just there. It's up there. It's like this continuum or continuous space of being happy and content and pleased. I feel confident when I'm kind. Why? Because that's naturally who I am. And when you can walk in who you are naturally and organically, you walk in that space with confidence. I am a kind person, and I don't like to be pushed outside of the realm of kindness. When I can stay in that place of being kind, I feel empowered and I feel confident because that's comfortable for me. For me, kindness is a place of comfort. It is a place of empowerment. I get to share myself organically with others and genuinely with others, because that's the space where I am. And it is always my hope that I'm able to set the temperature in a room with my kindness. When I walk into a room, and I'm just sharing this, and I haven't really gotten into some of the notes that I made, but when I walk into a room, it is always my hope that the kindness that I exude, the kindness that I carry with me, the kindness that I take with me will help set the temperature of the room. What am I saying? I want to create this ripple effect when I walk into a room, because have you ever walked into a space and it just felt stuffy? It just felt uncomfortable, and you were immediately mentally uncomfortable, or you were immediately emotionally uncomfortable because there was something happening in the room. Walk into a room with kindness. It will reduce the stress. It will reduce the anxiety. It will cause this ripple effect. It is important for me. It's just important to be kind. It really, really is. And there's so many ways that we can show kindness, that we can be kind, and we can work on being more kind. We really can. We can work on being more kind. Some time ago, was it a book or was it a short story? It was titled "The Importance of Being Earnest," and so it talked about your character flaw. It's showing up, and of course, there was a double entendre because there was this character. Well, I should tell you the story, but being earnest and pure and genuine and all that can also be an adjective as opposed to having the name. But for me, this is about the importance of being kind. And how do you show up kind? You show up by having empathy and listening to people, and truly making sure that you understand other people's perspectives by actively listening and taking a vested interest in what people have to say. We all can be more kind. And I'm just sharing ways by which we can be more kind, because I think it's important, in this climate, and we're talking about making the world a better place and all that. One by one, little by little, we can improve the state of the world. We really can. And so whether you see yourself on a kindness barometer of 2 or 10, it does not matter for the purpose of this conversation, because whatever and however you rank yourself, you can always do a little bit better. Practice a little more empathy, practice a little more actively listening to people so that you can understand their perspective. I was having a conversation the other day with someone, and we were talking about what I call the art of arguing. You really cannot combat, you really cannot offer a rebuttal until you fully understand what the other person is saying. You don't have to agree, but you cannot rebut, you cannot retaliate, you can't respond not accurately without understanding. So I think if we seek to understand people out of the kindness of our hearts, out of the kindness and the respect of them as another human being, we can show a little more empathy. We can offer an opportunity to understand their perspectives. Now, I may not agree, but at least I can give the opportunity. I can take the opportunity to understand. Thereby, it makes my response more kind because I understand where you're coming from. I may not agree with you, but at least I understand where you're coming from. And that's just a part of being empathetic. That's a part of actively listening to what you have to say. That's really being kind. Did you not know, even in the midst of an argument, you can be kind? I need to say that again. In the midst of an argument, you can be kind. An argument does not have to blow up. An argument does not have to be volatile. An argument does not have to be acrimonious. An argument does not have to be anything like that. But you can still be kind in the midst of arguing. You can practice more kindness again to yourself by showing some self-compassion. Listen, let me forgive myself. Let me do the best I can by myself. Let me acknowledge that I don't dot every I, that I don't cross every T. Let me acknowledge to myself that I'm not a perfect person. Let me acknowledge all of those things to myself. Let me show some compassion to myself. Let me show some understanding to myself. Let me make sure I give myself room to make mistakes and room to grow. So when I talk about being kind, I'm talking about being kind to others, but also being kind to yourself. And one of the ways, you all, that we can be kind to ourselves, we haven't done it in a while, but one of the ways that you can be kind to yourself is by watching what you say about yourself. Watching what you say regarding your hopes and your dreams and your futures. You can make sure that you're careful about offering positive talk towards you. So replace the negative talk about yourself and replace it with positive talk. Replace it with encouraging words. Replace it with powerful words. Replace it with motivating words. Replace it with inspirational words. Replace it with substantiating words. So one of the things that you can do when it comes to being more kind, particularly to yourself and to others, is to watch your language. Watch the kind of words that you use. Use positive talk rather than negative talk. One of the things that we can do additionally, you all, is when we're talking to others, when we're communicating with others, is to learn to give people the benefit of doubt. Let's stop making assumptions. Let's stop judging other people, particularly without knowing all of the facts. A lot of times, listen, I'm 60 years old. Y'all gonna hear that for a long time now. But even at this age of 60 years old, one of the things that I've discovered, one of the things that I've learned, is that we will still judge people without having all the facts. And I will say to people, how do you know? How can you tell? How can you be sure you don't have all of the facts? We make assumptions a whole lot and we don't have all of the facts. Oh, well, I knew what she was thinking. I knew what he was going to do. How did you know? Were you able to get inside his or her head? Or did he or she give you all of the information? Let's just stop being negative. Let's stop making assumptions. Let's stop judging people without knowing all the facts. I'm trying to tell us how we can be more kind. And another thing we can do is just practice, but be present in the moment. Be present in all of these moments. Pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to your feelings. Pay attention to your actions, and be aware of how they impact other people. That's Cutler. What do you mean by mindfulness? Understand, be mindful of what you say, what you do, how you say it, how you show up, how you be. Be mindful of how your thoughts, your actions, your feelings, your words, be mindful of how they have an impact on other people. I often see people behave in such a way and they seem not to care about the impact of their words. They seem not to care about the impact of their actions. They seem not to care about the impact of their deeds. And I think people who don't care about the impact of their words are dangerous people. I think that people who don't care about the impact of their behavior are people that you can't necessarily trust, and they are dangerous people. I want to be around people who practice mindfulness. Not that they cower in every word, or they have to they have to dissect all of the words before they speak. But when it becomes a part of your character, whereby you are concerned about the impact that your words have on other people, then you say, how can I make sure I say this in such a way until I don't hurt people? Not just blatantly hurt people, not just uncaringly hurt people. Not just carelessly judging people, casting dispersions. One of the ways that you can, and I mean, not only by mindfulness, but another way that you can be more kind is to practice gratitude, for goodness sakes. That is why at the opening of this particular segment, I stopped and I paused and I just wanted you all to know how thankful I am for the people who are in my life. I think that every now and then we have to stop and pause and practice gratefulness and practice gratitude, express gratitude to others. Thank you all for taking this time. That's why I do this every time we meet. Thank you all for taking the time out of your schedule. One of the gifts that you give and you don't get back is your time. So thank you for giving me the gift of time, particularly on these Tuesdays when you spend these 1,800 seconds with me, and then some people will go back and listen and they'll catch the replay. I am thankful that people give me the gift of time. So what am I doing now? I'm practicing the gift. I'm practicing gratitude to let you know how honestly I appreciate you giving the gift of your time. And there's nothing wrong with expressing gratitude. I think every single day we have to pause and express gratitude to other people. Because what does that do? It fosters this positive space. It fosters this positive mindset. There are people, you all, who are literally miserable because they exert so much energy on exerting negativity and pessimism. So it sometimes takes energy. It sometimes takes effort to be kind. And if you want to be kind, one of the attributes I think of being kind is to be a good listener. Pay attention to what people are saying. Learn how to engage people when you don't understand what they're saying. Don't let them assume that you understand what they're saying. Sometimes you really have to engage people and ask questions so that you're clear about various conversations. I don't know whether or not we live in a day and age when people still volunteer their time, whether they still donate their time, whether people are giving to charities. I don't know what we're doing, but volunteering your time and donating to charities, that's still kindness if you ask me. Yeah, it's old-fashioned, but it's still old-fashioned kindness. Maybe sometimes we consider volunteering at a charity or donating to a cause that you believe in, something that's near and dear to your heart. I think another way to be kind is learning to forgive ourselves and learning to forgive other people. Those are acts of kindness, random acts of kindness. Learn how to forgive yourselves for the mistakes that you made and learn how to forgive other people for the mistakes that they made. I often say to people when they said, when people talk about having made mistakes, and then some people say, well, why? How could you make that mistake? How could you do that? Why did you do that? It's called a mistake for a reason. Learn to forgive and keep going. You can be honest and say to people, well, that mistake that you made hurt me, but I do forgive you. So you can be honest, but you can be kind. You can be transparent, but you can be kind. You can be candid, but you can be kind. And I think if we start cultivating a space of kindness in our hearts, it becomes second nature to show kindness. It really does. We all can be kinder, you all. We all can be so much more kind than we are. And so I'm just offering that this evening. I am thankful to come from a kindness village. Wow. I come from a kindness village where people are kind. We give, we get, we expect kindness. We promote kindness. And so I'm just going to offer this and maybe this last 60 seconds, you all. One of the things that you can do is share compliments. Tell people when you think positively about them. There is nothing wrong with that. And then something else you can do is watch your words, your choice of words over the next week until the next time we get together. Watch your choice of words to yourself, about yourself, to others, about others. Watch your choice of words, but also share compliments. Be positive when you talk to people, and then set the example of what kindness looks like. Set the example of what you expect out of kind people. People may not always reciprocate. They may not always give you what you want, but here's the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you, not as they will do, but do unto others as you would like for them to do unto you. They may never reciprocate, but don't you stop doing unto them as you would like for them. We show people how we want to be treated. So set a good example of kindness. Set a good example of kindness and learn to listen more, to pay attention to more. Pay attention to what people say, what they don't say. And then take care of yourself so that you are aware of how you show up, how you be, and then look around, pay attention to others who are around you. Be aware of people. Don't let people come and go in and out of your lives without paying attention to them. Paying attention to people, one, is courteous and is kind. Paying attention to people coming in and out of your lives is courteous and is kind, and it is respectful. So make sure that you pay attention to people. Because here is a space where I thrive, and I've got to get out of here, y'all. Here's a space where I thrive. What I appreciate, I appreciate how good it feels to be kind. When I'm wrestling with pessimism and negativity, that's not a good space for me. And I don't like how it makes me feel. I don't like how I feel in that space. But what I'm suggesting is this, you all practice kindness and learn to live in that space and appreciate how empowered you feel, how natural and how normal you feel in that space of kindness. Appreciate how good it just feels to be kind. Annie Cutler says, continue to encourage and be encouraged. Thank you. Thank you. So as you're going through this week, do me a favor. Practice mindfulness and presence. And as you're practicing mindfulness and you're practicing present, be present in every moment of kindness. And as you're present in every moment of kindness, be intentional about paying that forward. Let me share the kindness with others that I've received. It's not always easy, particularly when our emotions are sometimes up and down and you don't feel good, and sometimes you feel down and you feel frustrated and all those kinds of things, but be kind in spite of. I think that's the takeaway this evening, you all. Let's learn to be kind in spite of. An old adage says, let's kill people with kindness. Well, I don't mean for us to take them out, but let's learn how to promote kindness in the world. Kindness is something that you all promote every single time you tune in and you join this space. And for that, I say thank you. Please, let's keep doing what we do, you all. Let's keep building community. Let's keep maintaining connectivity. Let's keep our heads up. Let's keep our hopes up. Let's keep showing kindness. Let's make the world a better place, one moment at a time. Be kind. Know from my heart to yours there is and always will be so much love. And until the next time we meet, do me a favor. Tell somebody, come on and let's talk to Cutler. Have a good evening. I'll see you the next time I see you. Good night.